Yo, people, welcome to Through a Different Lens podcast. I'm your co-host, Joe.
I'm Jacob.
And we have another brother joining us for a conversation. Would you like to introduce yourself, my man?
Victor. My name is Victor. Nice to be here with you lot.
We call him Coach Vic. Get me? We'll get into that later, but get me? We always check in at the beginning of every episode. So, how are you this week? How's things in general, etc.?
Good, thankful. Yeah, I mean, sun's out. Weather's getting better. I got the shades out. Do you know what I mean? Through the day.
Yeah, you come.
So, yeah, man. How about you lot? How about you, boys?
Life is life, man. Every day's another opportunity. And that's how I see it. Just rehabbing. So, same old for me. Yeah. Same old. They all know that I'm rehabbing. So, yeah, same old for me. But
at least you've been rehabbing properly now because there was some delays and stuff like that. So,
yeah. I guess progression. But other than that, just...
Can you run?
No. Nah, I got running gonna be June.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm straight gym based right now.
Yeah.
But until like everything's back in terms of like movements, functioning.
Yeah.
I'm alright to be in the gym. Got another scan in 2 weeks, and then from there figure out.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
That's good.
Life is life.
Fair.
How's things,
mate? Can't complain. All good. Marry me. Turned my out of office on today, so I'm out of office. Not this office, but yeah. But obviously we wanted to bring on Vic on Through a Different Lens because obviously like I've known Vic for years. Great footballing mind. He's been coaching. He's been playing first for like a long time as well, and then now Vic's been coaching for a minute. And I know Vic's had he's brought some things to me and I was like, oh, I've sent it to Jacob and Dej. Jacob's like, yep, get him on. And then, boom. Can you remember the first voice note that you sent me? The one that I forwarded to, can you remember it, Jacob?
The one about the one about the managers and players.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah. I remember. I think, that one was just like, the relationship between both, and even sometimes how we look at both.
All right. Do you want to just briefly explain for the viewers?
Yeah. So
what you were saying in that.
So people don't realize how much pressure the managers are under. Same way the players are under pressure. Players are under pressure to perform. Managers are under pressure to get results and to get the players performing. Right. So when people are looking at managers like, oh, he's crap, he's rubbish, he's probably done his part. Do you know what I mean? So the players that are now under pressure, he's got to find a way to keep them going and to, and he's looking up. So people think managers just manage players. They've got to manage up also. Yeah. So when they're looking at directors of football or the owners, CEOs or whatever who's above them, the same way the managers have got to speak to the players to calm them down and get them performing. Same way, it could either be good or bad from the top. Some directors or some people above could be looking at the manager and not even giving them no vote of confidence. Right. And now they're coming into the training ground, with a different type of pressure, squeaky bum time. Whereas if they do give them that vote of confidence, they can now feed off that vote of confidence to the players. And, things kind of just calm down around the training ground maybe and around the performance. And, they get better results, maybe better performances. So, I was just looking at those kind of things and even what I've experienced on my journey, going into first team football as well, out of the country in total different places, it's not easy, Of course, fans can look at it and just be like, listen, just get the result. We just want to win. And that's all they see. But that's very surface level, And even the breakdown, when you break it down from clubs, professional clubs, to high non-league clubs, to non-league clubs that only train once a week, to non-league clubs that don't even train at all, even down to grassroots Sunday league, is very, very similar. But again, the lower you go, the less you've got to work with. The more contact time you've got. Sometimes the harder it is. People don't even realise that, especially even like non-league now. We've just watched Cray win the league. What they've done over there is brilliant. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of, we went to watch the game the other day. I think some of the players from the opposition team, they're rubbish. I'm looking at them thinking, you ain't got a clue about football. For you to say they're rubbish, you ain't got a clue about football. You might not like the style they're playing, but they're about to win the league with almost being invincible.
Yeah, literally.
So for you to turn around and these lot are rubbish, they're rubbish, it's like
literally
shut up. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's where a lot of people outside, like fans and people are not really in it.
Yeah.
You know, they just don't understand, you know. So.
On that one quickly, just in terms of Cray Valley PM, won the Isthmian Southeast Division, literally losing one game all season. I happened to be at that game and they lost it in injury time from being 4-2 up. Yeah, it was nuts. But like, as a spectator, it was a fantastic game to witness. But as a Cray fan, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I remember Three Bridges, it wasn't even a coaching thing. They just went machine for machine. Yeah. And they were like, we're getting something from this. Yeah. And they managed to get something from it. Yeah. Scored like 80th minute, then scored 2 goals in added time. Literally what
happens, momentum.
Yeah, Chelsea did to Man United. And then literally that's the only game Cray lost all season. And shout out Ramsgate as well, because they pushed them to the final day of the season. So like, I was, when they matched up a couple of weeks ago and went to the game, it was like, call it
a great watch.
Yeah, I called it at that weekend the #1 game in the country, mate.
Yeah.
Because Cray were on obviously they won the league, lost 1 game all season, but they, out of the 19 away games, they won 18 and drew 1.
Oh, okay. So
and that one that they drew was the Ramsgate game that we went to a couple of weeks ago.
And they were winning with maybe about 10 minutes to go.
Oh, see.
So,
you know?
Just on your point there, the reason why I brought that up is because, for instance, with Cray, over the years before the previous manager, Cray was seen as a much more like fancy, not
and
fancy,
they did play unbelievable football.
Yeah,
oh, like they want to get it down and play football.
Unbelievable football.
Yeah,
we played against them in
you
pre-season.
did actually.
One
Yeah, I
year.
remember you saying.
Yeah,
they played. This is the thing that we played against them in pre-season 1 year, and I was like, oh, you guys play nice football. We beat them like 6-7-1.
Yeah,
but it was just like. Yeah, because it you can always play nice football, but it doesn't translate sometimes, especially when you're playing against better players, better teams, which is one of the things that you get caught up with. But go on, carry on, boys.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because the flip side is this season where the football's not looked as fancy as they've previously looked. It's still been very good, but it's just not been as like
it's not easy on the eye.
Yeah, before, whereas there will be like the triangles passing, blah blah blah. But where's the end product? Whereas this season, I knew if they're going, literally, they were killing teams off in 30 minutes and just, all right, we've got our shape. Like the other day, I was, all their away games, since the Ramsgate game, I was like, they'll be fine. The Ramsgate comeback was like a kick in the bum for them. Yeah. Because their next couple games, they were just going 2-3-0 up within the first 30, 40 minutes, killing the game in the first half. And then boom. So
let's not even forget about the FA Cup run.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I feel like what people don't realize is culture, how big culture is in clubs. You know what I mean? Like you can play beautiful football and whatnot, but if you ain't got the culture of winning, it don't really matter. You know what I mean? This season, the football wasn't great, but they had the culture of winning games. Like inside them, they were going out to win games. We're going to win this game. Whereas you can play brilliant football, nice football, get it on the floor and on the deck and whatnot. But if you haven't got that killer mentality at the end of the pitch where it's like, yeah, we can do all this, but people are screaming your head off for not putting the ball in the back of the net and they're just applauding you for, the good football. It's like, there needs to be a balance, you know? So I think they got the balance right this season.
Would you say with Maidstone as well, like in terms of you lot's league and cup run, because like on a miniature scale, Cray did what you lot done. Do you know what I mean? Obviously they're just a couple leagues below, but then you lot reaching where you did in the FA Cup. Do you think in terms of like the environment of this team that you've been in compared to previous teams, etc., how was
winning mentality? Definitely. I've been fortunate to be a part of a few good winning mentality teams in the past recently. But I'd say Maidstone definitely. George, obviously, the gaffer, instilled that the day I walked in the building. He also said, "I'm coming." He said, "I'm bringing you in so we play better football." That was the first thing. But you're coming here, and we're coming to win the league. You're coming to do something in the FA Cup. You're coming to, you get what I mean? We're establishing winning from the first moment you come in. If the ball has to be played long, I know you don't like it, but we're gonna have to do it.
You adapt.
You have to exactly.
This is England. You have to realize,
You get what I mean?
everyone thinks, oh yeah, that's Premier League. The Premier League is for the Premier League. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
And even then, it's only a certain amount in the Premier League that.
Everyone tries to do it, but you can see how they got caught out. Brighton get caught out every week.
Yeah.
Every single week they get caught out doing it.
Yeah.
So it's not. I know you want to play like that, but if you're not good enough to play like that, you got to find ways that you. Obviously nowadays it's okay. Lower down, play a long ball, play in the final third.
Yeah.
Because where you make a mistake in the final third, it's not going to cause a goal.
Costly. Yeah.
Whereas you make a mistake in your own third, in your own box, you know what's going to probably happen.
Yeah.
You get leeway down here because the strikers may not be as good, so they may not punish you.
Yeah.
But you don't think about it like that. Think about it like you're playing at Ipswich. Think about it like you're playing at Coventry, like we were. Where Ipswich, we played them, and they just didn't punish us in those areas that day.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's what it usually is as well.
You get what I
if
mean?
you're lucky on the day, and they're having a little one of those days, then you ride your luck.
Mate, they had like 30 shots, 30 plus shots.
We had 2.
You lot had 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals.
2 attacks. We had 2 attacks.
That's it. I feel like it rewards you. Football, it rewards you.
Weirdly.
Weirdly. When you've had that sort of season and you've kept pushing and you've been working, and from the start, like you said, that mentality has come in, and you guys, there's no cheating.
No.
There's no cheaters around the room. There's no cheaters in the change room. Everyone's held accountable. It eventually rewards you. And those kind of games,
I'm happy you said that there's no cheating, because you could see when this year, especially because I joined in December. I was at Havant before, so I got moved to Maidstone. And at Havant, a lot of people were cheating the environment. You could feel it in the environment. It was, okay, we're here to pick up our bread. Cool. We'll go about our day. Moved to Maidstone, and people tried to cheat the environment. But once you see someone cheating the environment, players are getting on you. And if it doesn't resonate for the players, then the gaffer's going to get on you. And once he gets on you, the next step is you're out the door.
Simple.
And that was kind of what resonated with the whole. That was Maidstone this year.
I remember the first couple of weeks, I asked you, like, how it's been, and you were like, bruv, even if we're doing good, he's onto everyone.
Yeah.
There's no getting away with anything.
No,
I was
nothing
like,
at all.
You can't let anyone get away with anything, because that's when it is a virus. I call it a virus. Once you let that, it's like putting ink in water. Once you let it just keep going and you don't flush it out quickly, before you know it, the whole bottle, the whole water is turned into the color of the ink. So you have to get it out of the system straight away. There's no wasting time, and it goes all the way up to the highest levels. Man City, there's no cheaters in there. Teams that are going to go win leagues, there's no cheaters in there. This season, we look at Liverpool and certain things, there's certain places where it's that, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to win a league like that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? With certain performances or certain individual performances.
Or how sustainable, like,
Over a
what
season.
you do
Yes.
over the course of the season.
Over the course of the
It'll
season,
get you a long
so-
way for a certain period.
Yeah.
But if you continue like that, you will eventually get caught out or found out in that sense. So
Yeah. And I think, again, congratulations for the FA Cup run, because those things there, people don't realise it's not easy.
No,
It's not easy to go again and again and again and again and again. It's not easy, When you go to the next round, people, your back's against the wall. Oh yeah, this one will be it. You lot in the change room have got to get each other going. Like, no, it's not. Wait, no, it's not. You go again. You know what I mean? People don't realise how tough. You got to be mentally tough to push through those barriers. 100%. And to just keep going.
100%.
Or you could be 4-0 down. Hey, you got to keep going until that whistle's gone.
You never know.
You never know.
It's football. It's 11v11, and that's how we went out and played the games.
Yeah.
We have 11 men versus 11 men. On the day, we can be better than your 11 men.
Yeah.
Your 11 men might be better than us 364 days out of the year.
Yeah. But
On
that day,
we will be better than you at something
Yeah.
that will get us through, and then we'll ride our luck,
yeah.
and we'll take the opportunities that we need to take, and we'll go and win the game.
Yeah.
And we'll create history. And that was kind of the message behind it. Believe.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, without belief, you ain't going to do anything.
Yeah.
And anything you do, if you don't believe, what's the point of being there?
Yeah.
May as
It's
well
funny.
stay at home.
It's funny you use that belief. I remember when Pep first came to City. I think Clichy, there was a moment, I think Champions League, I think this was after those guys left, like kind of got rid of them. And Clichy was just like, we didn't believe. Like what he was telling us to do, we didn't believe. Again, this is like different way. Obviously the way he wanted to play, but it's like, we need to do this for us to get to this. Believe it. If you don't believe it, it's not going to happen.
Right.
So even when like the Cray team, the way they played, I'm sure the players believed in it. Even if at the start they didn't.
Yeah.
Eventually, bro, this is getting us results. We've got to believe in it.
Invest in it, bro.
You know, so it's like everybody's got to be rowing in the same direction. You know, holding each other accountable.
Yep.
You know, there's no cheating. Believe in what we're doing here. You know, and then we'll kick on. But again, I think some players struggle with that as well.
I'd say so.
I think players struggle with that a lot.
I'd agree.
At all levels, especially lower down. When it's just, I'm just trying to pick up my. I don't like what we're doing here. So,
question for you both as player and coach, or even you can answer it as a player. How hard, how easy, or no, in fact, how difficult is it to try and get everyone on board? Like in terms of you guys' mindset, like we spoke about the no cheating part in that sense in the team, or like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially as it drops down a level, etc. Like you said, obviously at the top, you're more likely to stay consistent. But
Okay.
how difficult is it for making sure everyone stays on board? So like you as a player, then you as a coach, and like spotting that bad eye. How would you? Obviously, you're captain. How would you talk to that individual and stuff like that?
Right. So I've seen it from all angles. So I've seen it from the angle of being in the Premier League when I was at Palace, and seeing that what it takes for everyone to get to that one goal. And at the time, that one goal was, for a period of time, was getting promoted from the Championship. And at one point, it was staying in the Premier League. How can everyone get to that one goal? And you can see in the building who believes, who doesn't believe. And you can see, I feel like it comes from the top through the captain. Yeah. Because that's an extension of the head coach, the manager. And then it breeds to a few leaders in the change room. Who, you know, because there's always this in the change room. There's always a black group. Always a black group. So you need
or a MANDEM group.
MANDEM group.
So you got a couple of the boys that, you know, that are not black. They're part of the MANDEM in the group.
But you need a head of that group. That works with the other side. You get what I mean? Like, so, but all can come together. Like he's the one that can convince these guys to do this. So that's what I feel like you need in that perspective. In that environment, that's up top.
A quick one with Palace, obviously, because you were in and around the first team a lot. Is that something like you witness, like on a day-to-day basis, for instance?
Yeah, and it's usually the players.
Palace have always been known as like a culture club.
Yes.
So they've always had brothers, for instance, and a mixture.
Yeah. So during the Adebayor time.
Yeah.
That was he kind of brought in a vibe, and he kind of changed the way people were in terms of, you can see fashion sense just changed. Yeah, like the influence of certain players came in. Yeah, like Johan Kabay led in a different type of way. The quiet leader, don't speak much.
Bloody quality, mate.
But serious football player. Then you have a Damien Delaney who is consistent, speaking. Not the best quality wise, but makes up for it with everything he does outside of that. Then you have, like, at the time, a Joe Ward who was just consistent. Yeah. And he could play anywhere.
Even still now.
You get what I mean? And he would, like, literally just, okay, cool, this and that. Then you have a weird kind of leader. You have a Punch. Yeah. Who leads by moaning at you. Yeah. You get what I mean?
Standards.
But it's to get you. To get you there. Like, you don't like him, but you understand why he's doing this.
Or you don't like his method.
Yeah.
But you can see as to why he became captain.
Exactly. And then you have like a Mile Jedinak who you know each day 100% being put in because I am the leader.
Yes. No cheating.
No cheating.
No cutting corners. No. We're gonna do this.
Exactly. and then you have a manager. There was a range of managers. You have a manager at the time that has a certain side of football, and you kind of stick to that. And as I said, it trickles down, and it trickles down through to how the physios are with you, to the masseuses, it trickles down through everyone. And that's how it would be up top. Going down the system, let's say now at Maidstone. It's easier because instead of going through, I'll go Maidstone now. I said it before. George Gaffer is the leader. You follow him. That's you follow him. And if you're not on the same page as him in his environment, you're out of the environment. And everyone knows that the day you come in, he'll let you get away with it for 1-2 days because everyone has their 1-2 days in football. You get what I mean?
An adjustment period for some people as well.
Exactly.
But get with the program.
Basically, get with the program or get out. And that's how he works. And that's through his assistant, Craig Fagan. That goes through to the physio department. It goes through to everyone. It goes through to Gavin, who's the captain, Corney, who's the vice captain, who's led by example all season. And it just literally trickles down throughout. And I was part of the leadership group and I signed late. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? So I was I say I probably the leader of the MANDEM group.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? It's easier to go there and then basically that. And then I'd say Grenada, as a captain of the national team, that's the most difficult one. Because you're really an extension of the head coach, and you try not to be too close to the head coach.
Yeah.
Because the boys are like, okay,
Teacher's pet.
Yeah. You know what it is. Yeah. Try not to be too close to the head coach, and you also have to be on a level with all the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's true, actually.
You can't be, because I'm overseas, just be chilling with the English boys. So there's days where, okay, cool, I sit in my same seat at the end of the table. Everyone knows where Jacob's chair is. But after
it's a chair with the C on it.
but like after like we finish eating, the Grenadian boys might want to stay, and they're like making tunes. They're playing like Wild and Out songs around the table. So I'd go in and join in with them.
Yeah.
We'll do a table tennis tournament. I'll organise that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There's certain different ways you have to lead in different environments. And I feel like that's kind of it. But I feel like from the top down, it works.
I always say the best leaders adapt to their surroundings.
Yeah.
Especially in football, like sometimes I feel like some managers are not willing to sacrifice their own ways. Do you know what I mean?
For what they've come into.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because obviously, like, you want to implement whatever style, whatever culture, environment, but like sometimes you really need to know your personnel.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like some tend to get it wrong and stay stubborn. But yeah, like I was Jacob, from like say coaching perspective, you can even from when you were playing.
I just did
playing
from playing quickly. The MANDEM thing was important. We had a captain, overall captain. I was kind of like vice captain sometimes, and I was like the MANDEM again. I remember there was an issue in the training ground one time, and just like Vic, get hold of the boys, you know what I mean? It's just like, boys, come on, you know what I mean? But I'm from playing wise, I'm one of the ones that maybe I'm quite flexible, so I can be the calm one and speak. You know, if we're on that level where it's like, all right, everyone's rolling in the same direction, and there's those one or two days where someone, you know, is slacking. It's an arm around the shoulder. Hey, come on, let's push. But when it's like the boys are just at the start and there's a mess around thing, I can get moany. Do you know what I mean? I get like that. I get pushy. I push buttons. I call that I'm a cage rattler.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna rattle the cages, and if it comes to like, even when I was away in Iceland as a player coach, I can't count on one hand how many fights I've had on the training ground with my teammates. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like. And it's not out of, because you're a bad egg. It's no, bro, what are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? And even as a coach, so I'll just speak as a coach now, sometimes I allow my players to have a little bit of, you know what I mean? And I just stand back and watch. You know, like when I was in Ghana, choosing your captain is very important. You know, choosing the captain, choosing the leadership team is probably one of the most important things you can do as a coach. Do you know what I mean?
Did that period of time, like, obviously, when you moved to Ghana to coach, did that period of you choosing like your captain leadership team, did it take time, or did you kind of know from the get-go when you were there?
So when I was there, the captain, I went in as director, youth director first.
Okay, nice. What club was this at?
A club called Bafor.
Okay, nice.
Bafor Soccer Academy. So we're in the Division 1. I was just youth director first. Probably 3 months in, I got given the whole job. I took it for maybe about 3 months. When I took it over, I changed my captain. Right. I changed it instantly. I changed it to one of the senior boys. He probably wasn't the best of players, but in terms of what I wanted from the boys, how hard I wanted them to work on the pitch, off the pitch, and how they carried themselves, he was definitely, do you know what I mean? And then there was maybe like 3 or 4 others, or maybe even 5, that have said, you lot are all together. He's the captain, but you lot are all the leaders here. Do you know what I mean?
So let bounce off each other, basically.
Bounce off each other. And, you know, he was a bit older as well. He's probably one of the oldest in the team. So, and I've just said, listen, this is how we're doing it. This is how, and they all said, yeah. Well, and it helped because going to Africa, I changed a few things. So again, like we said, culture-wise, you know, there were certain things where it was like, come on, guys, these guys are young men. These guys are men. You can't treat them like kids.
Right.
So it's like, no, take that away, take that away, take that away. But again, culture-wise, you have to be careful because now managing up is like, how can you tell us?
And you know African culture in general.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
It's not the same as being here.
it's not the same. You know what I mean? You're not like some of these boys. When we used to debrief, they wouldn't talk.
Do you know what's funny? You say that. Caribbean's the same way. Like, people will say something in the changing room or say something behind the closed doors. I say, okay, cool, we'll have the meeting with them.
Yeah.
We get to the meeting,
they're all looking down.
They're not saying anything.
It's you know, we're African when we're Caribbean is respect, which we know. But no, this is not.
This is business.
No, this is business. Open your mouth. I used to look at them and be like, open your mouth, talk. Like, stop looking at me. I'm not a statue. Open your mouth. Do you know what I mean? Then eventually we gradually got to the point where I was like, okay, you know, you get one, like, okay, coach, you know, then it's like they start talking and it's like, all right, good, you open your mouth, talk. So we got there, you know, gradually we got there, but it's so important to have that group dynamic.
Yes.
You know, the group dynamic is important. And one thing I loved over there is there's certain things when it comes to culture you can't change. So let's say the game's on Sunday or whichever day, and it's 2 days before the game, our last training session, or everyone's in a circle, you know, the Africans drumming, dancing, singing, you know what I mean? And it's like, can't change that.
Yeah.
Don't touch that.
You see it with straight
AFCON,
to
you know what I mean?
AFCON, yeah.
Don't touch that. Let them, because I even get I've got goosebumps sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to the point where even sometimes after training, we'll just banter a bit of banter. Who can rap? Do you know what I mean? And the boys turned from being in a like military camp to, I like being here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it became fun and it became enjoyable. And it's like, yes, we still have business to do.
They knew the standards still.
The standards still.
There was a good level of like
Balance.
all right, this,
You know what I
balance,
mean? Balance is key. So again, going from the Premier League all the way to non-league, grassroots, standards, culture, putting that in there, knowing your leaders and having your leaders be accountable for everybody. If you need to grab someone by the throat, I'll stand back, I'll watch you. Don't go overboard because there's, again, even as a leader, you got to know how to manage your people. Do you know what I mean? So that's another thing I used to tell the boys a lot, like understand how to, you know, some of the boys, you just need an arm around their shoulder. Especially the younger boys who were brilliant, that were in the first team playing, but wanted to misbehave sometimes, or because they didn't get their money, I'm like, hey, just go talk to him and just, you know, or sometimes I'll just do it. You know, I just say, hey, come meet me at the where I'm staying. Do you know what I mean? We'll just sit down, have a talk, or go for a walk. You know, so these kind of things is just, it's important. You can't hide from it. You know, and we look at United, like who's in there. I don't think anyone's getting grabbed.
No.
I don't think anyone has that standard to say, hey, we don't do that here. You know what I mean?
There's too much madness that goes on there for anything to be actually be disciplined in the club.
You know?
Yeah.
And you would see it like this. This is why, you know, when you see are they successful at the moment? Far from. You know what I mean? Like regardless of if they win a cup, and Man United is not successful at the moment.
Yeah.
That is not Manchester United. You know, same thing with Chelsea. You know, regardless of what they do, like if they were in the cup final, whatever they were in, they're not successful at the moment. What made them successful, they've come away from that. What made Man United successful, they've come away from that. You know, and we look at clubs, sometimes it's from higher up.
Yeah.
Like Liverpool now, depending on what they do,
In terms of who comes in.
Can sway them away from what's brought them success over the years.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, like you've got Klopp, who was with the fans, and you know the bridge between the fans and the players. They're right next to each other. You're never walking alone.
It's funny you said that because a couple of days ago I saw, like obviously the annoying Liverpool fans on my timeline, but it was actually a good tweet about I think the first Champions League final that they lost. The following morning, Klopp was with the Liverpool fans about 7, 8 a.m. And they're all just like singing, dancing about and stuff like that. And
that's from a loss.
Yeah, from Champions League finals loss. And like, I see how Liverpool fans say it's not even like what he's won with them and stuff like that. It's what, like, just the energy he came in with from the get-go and stuff like that. So
he's influenced the city.
Definitely.
He's bigger than the football club.
Yes.
I feel like that's what a lot of people don't understand. The influence that someone can be on a person outside of the game.
Yeah.
Whereas it doesn't just have to be in the game. Just being an influence outside the game is much bigger.
Yeah.
Because the game, in if we're being very honest, the game is a minuscule part of our lives.
Yeah, it's very small. Very small.
And I know, I said it the other week, it means a lot to me, but it's not that big a part of my life.
Yeah.
But I make it such a big part of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, it's going to end soon.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I've got the rest of my life to carry on with.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like Jurgen Klopp has done. He's touched those outside of the club that understand, okay, the game is just a game.
Yeah.
But this is life.
Yeah, this is life. And it's those relationships you build with the people you go on that journey with. I think, like he said, that is a minuscule part, but everyone in that changing room, once you've gone on a certain type of journey with them and you haven't cheated each other, you'll be able to pick up the phone to each other anytime for however long we're living on this earth.
Yes.
Because of those journeys you've gone with. So people look at it like, yeah, it's football, yeah, it's big, and yeah, it's big, but at the same time, it's very small. What is big is the relationships you build from
The game.
those journeys.
That leads me on to a question. How many people from football, from your playing career, do you still speak to now?
Playing career.
Yeah, playing career.
What? Didn't play that long. I started coaching early. I didn't sack it off, but a few people. Again, you see each other here and there. You go out, you might see them outside, but again, it's one of those things where the relationship you've built is once you do see each other,
You know what it is. Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's so good to see you. Because again, when you don't cheat each other, when you do meet, you remember like, yeah, no, you were there for me. Like we went to war.
Went to war together. Yeah.
Whether it's training in the rain, in the snow, especially when you're playing here, or even like in Iceland, the weather conditions over there, Jesus Christ, unbelievable. Like I hate the cold, and well, summer was cold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Summer was cold, but yeah, those are the people you just meet along the way. You know, I'm not someone that I'm quite tight knit. So do you know what I mean? I don't mind not speaking to people. Doesn't mean I don't like you, mate. We've been on this journey together, but I've got so much love for you. And if I needed to call you, I would. If you need to call me, feel free.
Yeah,
you know. So
because there's well, I was a question because there's a certain group of players that we're so close, and the season went so wrong. We were touted to get promoted at Aldershot the first year when I signed. Yeah, we ended up getting relegated. But the group itself was so close. No one cheated the environment. Stuff just didn't go our way.
okay,
So still to this day, where this was six years ago,
yeah,
and still to this day, all of us speak to each other every week.
yeah,
Like, and it's weird if you don't speak to them every week.
Yeah,
But as we went through that journey and that experience, and we've built a bond for life outside of the game.
yeah,
Because how close knit the group was as just a group of people. It was outside of football, which is weird because obviously we got relegated.
Yeah.
So it's different. It's weird because negative. It was a negative in the terms of the season.
In terms of footballing wise.
But in life, I've gained what?
Friends for life.
Friends for life.
Yeah.
And I can truly actually call these men my friends.
yeah,
Because I actually chat to them.
yeah.
And they're not just football friends. Because there's a lot of people in football that are football friends.
Yeah.
But them man, that team, that camaraderie between us,
yeah.
we all still chat and keep up with each other. And it's just weird because it was such a negative effect. But as you can see, like what Jurgen Klopp's built, you can see that can get built in any environment.
Any environment.
Doesn't matter what the outcome.
Yeah, and this is where when you hear a lot of managers speak about outcome, they say we can't control that. You know, we've put in what we've put in during the week. Anyone can win on the weekend. You know, it's a game at the end of the day.
Right.
But what you must not forget is the relationships you have with the people alongside you. You know, when you look at your partner, your centre back partner, your midfield partner, whatever relationship you have directly, you look around the 18 or 20 man squad and you say, hey, we're going here together today. You know what I mean? When you see people do team talks, even like when Pogba was doing the French team talk, and I think you see like Bernardo Silva or Diaz doing the City team talks, and the boys are just talking, like everybody's locked in. I think Kyle Walker did one, the Champions League, where he wasn't playing. He didn't play the final, but he said, do it for, like, I'm not playing, but do it for us. Like this is the kind of, you know, you're gonna speak to each other.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that relationship, and you know, this is the beautiful thing about sports, not even just football. You know?
And sometimes even from that, like, the coach will know the right time to take a step back because he knows that player is going to get through to everyone.
Yeah.
So, like, even you saying the Pogba thing, like, that France World Cup final.
Yeah.
Bro, he told them, we're not losing this, you get me?
Yeah.
And you just see Deschamps in the background. It's like
down to you.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like, your leader spoke. He's not got the armband, but that's your leader.
Yeah.
You get me? So,
Yeah.
and just even going back quickly, obviously, we played together briefly when we were younger, innit?
Yeah.
And
It's a great partnership.
Mate, I knew, cause I was attacking mid, Vic was and DM, and it would just be us two. And like, you could see, I'm just remembering games where what we done, it was we didn't even have to say much, but the way we set a standard, the rest of the team will literally be like, all right, cool, we got to buckle up. You get me? Like, Vic was more of the vocal leader. I'm out, to be fair, because I was a captain of a lot of teams when I was younger, I was naturally a vocal leader, but I wasn't an aggressive vocal leader.
Right.
My thing is, I don't stop.
Yeah, get me? Like, Vic, you're always going to hear his voice.
Yeah,
like me, I'm going to pull you up when I think you're really taking the piss now, innit? But I'll be like, all right, cool. And just like certain games, I'll be like, all right. And I'll never forget this game. I don't know if you can remember. We had Seven Oaks away in a cup game.
Yeah.
And literally, my foot was damaged, I think, like the week before. And then Vic called me like the day, I think, no, we trained the day before and I couldn't really train. And Vic's like, Joe, you're coming tomorrow. I was like, cool, I'll see what I can do. I remember I telling my dad. My dad was my home doctor, innit? You get me? And then went to the game now, changing room. Like, I'm still limping, everything. Vic's like, well, you're playing. I was like, hey, I remember past late fitness test. I was just like, I'm limping in the warm up, everything, and like I was always an adrenaline person anyway. So once I could get going, I could forget about it, innit? And then I remember Vic won't remember, but Vic could see I was starting to struggle in the game, like I couldn't really run in it. And he just said to me, he said, don't come back, just stay high up the pitch, don't come back in it. Then he was just directing the others in it. And usually I think I was skipper that game as well, but I was just like, I was in pain. I was out of it, innit? And I just remember, like, not giving myself credit, but literally late in the game, can't even remember who gave me the ball, but I've just, because he told me to stay high up the pitch, I was in a position where, boom, I just beat it from like 30 yards on my foot. That I was like, I don't know how I'm playing this game, innit? But I didn't feel it in that moment. And we end up winning that game 2-1. I literally remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's like just what both of you have said, having those kind of teammates along the way that, like, when they come into an environment, because I remember you came into that Beckenham team kind of late.
Yeah.
Like, when the other boys could see how you train, for instance, because you used to travel for it as well.
Yeah. We've
because I just moved to Norwood those days, so I didn't have to do that travel. And all the other boys in the team, they weren't used to the traveling. Whereas us lot in South East, like where we grew up, Bermondsey, like Old Kent, Peckham, we traveled for football. So like,
you had to.
Them lot could see like, that as well. Them lot could see like, all right, if Vic's traveling this far, we need to take it serious as well, step up this level, etc. Blah blah blah. So yeah, just going back to always having, like, some managers know once they've got one or two in the squad, they can not take a step back, but they know that voice will transmit to everyone else, innit? So
even sometimes the person that never says anything, that says something in one of those games, that is the key person.
Yep.
That's the key person. Because I didn't used to be a talker in the change room because I like to play. Everyone knows Jacob Quiet, he plays ball. You get what I mean? So I'd show how I'm going to do by example. The one time I would say something, today's a serious day.
yeah.
Nowadays I got to speak more because obviously the position I play and my roles in teams. But there's players when they don't say anything for the whole year and then they say something that one message resonates with everyone way more than anything.
Oh yeah.
Anyone could
You'll
have
be like,
said.
rah, you got a voice, but I hear it though.
Yeah.
So
I think it's important as well to even remember just when to keep quiet. Like sometimes players, individuals need to remind themselves what's at hand. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? What's in front of them, and just sometimes just look yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I always tell boys or players, I was told when I was young, are you going to be happy with what you just did on the pitch if the whistle went now? Like if the final whistle went now, your thought process, your last action, are you going to be happy? And from like those little moments, those little nuggets, I was just like, it's true. Like, so that's why I call it the transition period, even in life. If Jesus, I'm a Christian, if Jesus came out now, are you going to be happy with your last
Action.
to the world? You know, so it's like whatever's happening, transition quick, good or bad. You know what I mean? Like if it's bad, transition quick, get on with it. Do you know what I mean? Yes, you know, think about it and reflect and, you know, see where you can get better and whatever, but transition quick, you know? So same thing with football, just like, I just tell boys, I don't care whether you've made a bad pass. I don't care what action you just did. I don't care if you shot and it hit the crossbar and it's a great shot and now you got your hand on your head. I don't care about your hand on your head, bro. Go get that ball back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or get yourself back into shape. So, yeah, man. So, yeah.
Leading on from that then, the transition.
Yeah.
It's off football, but how do you define, I'm going to ask it to both of you, how do you both define success? Because you said some things there in terms of how the transition is. How do you define success, obviously, if the next action, like how do you like see success as a whole then?
I think it's different in different ways. So success could be, let's say we have a time, want to be done in an hour and a half, and we get it done in an hour and a half. That's success. Cool. Brilliant. But for life, I don't think
you, though.
For me, for life, I don't think I would see. Mate, I hope I do. I pray I do. Where I can sit down one day when I'm old and I could see, you know, the rewards that, you know, that God's allowed me to have on this earth, and see my grandkids and, you know, businesses and things just flourishing, people that I've helped, you know, people like friends, family, just all healthy, you know, and that for me will be success. Like sometimes I even say a man that will never know how successful he is. Only the people who are at his funeral. You know, by what the words people say at their funeral, you know, by how many people are there smiling and happy, like this guy lived an amazing life. You know, that's now you won't be there, but hopefully you're in heaven looking down and be like, yeah, man. And, you know, God gives you a pat on the back and says, well done. You know, so yeah, that's success for me.
Joe?
I'd say, obviously, in terms of the bigger picture of what you stated, like when you grow older and you can just finally sit back, etc., and be like, okay, cool, I'm content or I'm happy with the outcome, for instance. But I'd say like in terms of smaller successes, for me in particular, it's just more so seeing the people around me win. Do you know what I mean? So like whatever they've set out, if they're achieving that goal, I'll be like, mate, well done on that success, innit? When it comes to myself in particular, I always not find it difficult, but I always find it weird because I've always, in a way, just been there for others. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, for instance, all right, cool. Like, just for argument's sake, when you were coaching in Iceland, even in Ghana as well, I'll be like, bro, send me your team's name. I just like, I'm like, I want to know what league they're in. I'm looking the fixtures, blah, blah, blah. I'm checking results. Then I'll check in with Vic. I'll be like, yo, we'll have a debrief about the game and stuff like that. And like, just from supporting the boys, I'd say from the football level, for instance, anything like they've achieved or, bro, even like you lot continue playing, for me, that's a success within itself. Because you've been in the academy system where you've seen the amount of boys, for instance, not even the ones that didn't get a pro, the ones that got a pro and they just stopped playing. Do you know what I mean? So, and I always say like to you, and I said it to you when like you became the Grenadian captain, I was like, bro, like, obviously, I know your personality. I was like, no, this one, you need to enjoy the success. You get me? And I was like, I feel like a proud unk. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I see things for me, innit? Like, and then, obviously, whatever I want to do or whatever I'm doing, like, I do acknowledge when something, somewhat of a milestone that's happened, whether big or small, I'll be like, all right, cool. Like, I'll take it in myself. I'll be like, all right, this was actually good. You know what I mean? But how can I become better at it, for instance, and stuff like that? So for me, that's kind of the way, like, maybe I didn't answer it properly or did, but that's how I kind of measure success in that sense. And just making sure, like, the most important thing is that everyone around me, like, is in a good mind frame, because I feel like that's very important as well. Even though, like, for me, myself in particular, everyone naturally has down days in it, but especially as we've grown older, I make sure that down day is not going to get the better of me, innit? And like, going back to Vic's personality, like, Vic will not let you, as his brother, like, nah. You had this bad moment, get over it now. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it needs to be in that get over it manner, or like,
let's talk about it.
Yeah, like, I feel like that's one thing you've definitely adapted on. Back in the day, I'd be like, but like, yeah, like those things, and like I say it as young men, black men in particular, I'd be like, bro, if you feel comfortable with it, tell me your issues, whatever. And we're going to do this, and we're going to overcome it, and that's then going to become a success, you get me?
Right.
And then we're going to think of, all right, cool, I'm more of a solutions kind of guy, not a problem, get me? But obviously, sometimes you actually need to get to the crux of a problem.
To figure it out.
Yeah, and then, boom, like, any little thing, whether it's football, I always try to, like, even doing this, things that I do through work or learnt through work, is how I've tried to implement in this, for instance. So like, when we first started, I'll be like, all right, cool, let's do a shared document so we can all put our ideas and stuff like that. And that's just because we use Google Docs at work. Whereas my previous role, I'd never used Google Docs before. Google Docs, for instance, just everyone can write in the same document. You can see it, blah, blah, blah. And that was a little thing for me, but I was excited when we were doing this. I was like, hey, let's share that. We were all on FaceTime. We're like, you can share the note like this. All right, we'll put topic ideas like that. I'm like, little successes like that, you get me? So, So,
how about yourself?
How to find success now? Quite simple. Each day, I got to be better than yesterday. And I was literally riding the bike in the gym today, and I said to myself, am I better today than I was yesterday? And if I am, great. It's a successful day. I'm successful in some aspect. I just try and improve each day. So wherever that may be, and wherever aspect of my life, I'm just trying to improve each day. So as long as today is better than yesterday, and tomorrow is better than today, I feel successful. And there's bigger successes that I know I want, and I'm gonna go out and get them. But
100%.
On a day-to-day basis, I need to be better than I was yesterday. And if I stick to that, I know by the time it's time to hit that goal, I'm gonna blitz through it.
I call that the iOS update. I mean, every morning you got to update. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So no, you're right.
Kind of links to, was it our second episode, Ikigai?
Yes. Your mission in life.
Your mission in life, And it's funny, I was watching something a couple of weeks ago, and like, you know, when you're subconsciously watching, I heard Ikigai. I was like, shit, Jacob wrote that to us. Before we wrap up, I saw this tweet earlier, and I was gonna send it to you, but I was like, nah, let me ask you. Would you rather have the perfect coaching team or the perfect scouting team?
It's a tough one, you know. The perfect coaching team or the perfect scouting team?
Yes.
What league are we in?
It's a good question. That's a good question.
I saw it and I was like, oh, I remember sending it to myself this morning.
If we're non-league, you need the perfect scouting team.
Okay.
Do you?
You ain't got time to coach.
What not there, but what league?
So, okay, so if we're full-time.
Okay, go National League.
Full-time.
Full-time, you're full-time. Yeah.
Then, you need a coaching team because the players you're kind of getting are, do you know what I mean, anyways. Do you know what I mean? They're not the best of best players. So you need a good coaching team. If you're higher up, you need you can have a good scouting team and tell them what you want. And the players come in and it's like, boys, here you go. Vibes, Real Madrid, win games. You know what I mean? Or you can do the pep thing and say, okay, I kind of know what I want. Bring them in. I'm gonna coach them. We need to coach them. We need to improve them. And so it's man. I'm a politician, so
you can't have one without the other.
You can't have one without the other. You know, I'll split it. You know,
That's a good answer, because Pep, if you actually look at Pep, he has the best players, and he's the best at what he does.
Hey, no politician answers. Me personally, when I saw it, it was kind of easy for me because I don't like coaching, so it's the perfect coaching team. I'll do the scouting.
You do the scouting,
yeah. Because people have asked me in the past, like, and someone even asked not too long ago, have I thought about doing coaching badges? And I was like, that's one thing I have no interest in. Never had an interest in coaching in my life.
Yeah.
Scouting, I could do that for days, but coaching. So when I saw this tweet, I answered it quick, but I knew it would be good. Like, so literally, I saw it this morning about 10 o'clock. I said, I'm going to ask you lot today.
How about yourself?
Perfect coaching team or scouting team?
Yeah.
I feel perfect coaching team.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a few good players.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect coach, and when you have a few good players, they can win you the games.
Yep.
The rest of the coaching team, like yourself, you can coach the rest of the players.
To get on that level.
yeah. Or just stay away from the ball. Just do
help them out. Just do the dirty work. I remember when we were young, I had a coach. He called it soldiers and artists. You have your soldiers and you have your artists. But again, as now I look at it, I'm like, listen, I want everyone to be a soldier and an artist.
Oh yeah.
You know, I need.
Well, now you're a coach.
Yeah. Like, now, like I look at players and I'm like, listen, I want all of you to be brave. One, I want all of you to, you know, understand the game. Two, and to be able to do what you need to do in certain situations. So I'm not asking you to, you know, if you can't play out from the back, and that's not your game. Give it to the guy who can. Keeper, stop giving it to that guy. Like, even as a player, sometimes, or even as a coach, like in training sessions, I look at my players and I'm like, that is not the guy you pass the ball to. Stop passing him the ball, especially when it's like they carry on and they stop that.
Yeah, players.
Anytime you see him, don't give it to him in that situation.
You know, being a player in small sided when you're playing the game, everyone can play now. We get to a match day. Wait, what happened to you? Can you not do what you did yesterday for me?
Yeah. That was one of my big, like when I was younger playing, like coming through the non-league stuff. We used to train and do keep ball in training. And then we get to games and the gaffer's like, put it in a channel. And I'm very outspoken. I was a lot more outspoken when I was younger. I'm like, no, why? We did keep ball in training the other day. Look at the players we've got. Look, this is the MANDEM. They can ball. I'm giving them the ball. Then it's like, but we'll win games and we'll do well. Then it's like, but eventually, you know how it is. You just can't deal with it.
Gotta go.
Vic, thanks, but you know. You know what I mean? Like I had that a lot, to be fair. Not a lot, but you know, I just used to get myself out of the situation as well. If I got to a point where if I couldn't learn anything from that coach, I'm not playing for him.
Right.
Which makes sense. To a point where I didn't even play because again, now the coaches that are of a level are up, higher up. The guys who are doing on league, they're in survival mode. So it's like, we're not trying to do that here. Hey, put that ball, keep doing that. And it's like, bro, this is kind of, like, I understand it, but you're not even giving me no detail in this. Because especially when I started coaching and, like, luckily I've been educated coaching-wise by a lot of good coaches. So they always said, ask why and ask for detail. If you can't give me no detail, I remember even the guy I was working with as I was his assistant. I was a player coach in Iceland. So, but sometimes I used to go back up. Me and him, I'm arguing with him. Vic, and he's just shouting. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'll just look back at him like, you're just shouting. What are you talking about? Give me something. You're saying nothing here.
Yeah, but you know,
then just look at me like, you know what I mean? They're just like, hey,
you know, managers do that though. They shout or they throw their hands up. You look at them like, what do you want me to do? And they just shout some stuff or they throw their hands up back at you.
Yeah.
And I was like, you just wasted my time.
Yeah, literally, you know. So even now, like when I look at coaches, sometimes I feel sorry for players. You know, I'm like, what is he giving you? So he didn't say nothing. He's just shouting. I'm like, it's not easy, man. This game is not easy.
Football.
Yeah.
The beautiful game.
Beautiful game.
We love it, man.
You know,
we love it, man. We love it.
Love it and we hate it at the same time.
Hey,
I don't think you can hate it, man.
Oh no, you can.
You can hate it, but do you know what I say? Yeah. Do you know what I say? I think you've got to love those parts as well. I think you've got to, if you love football, you've got to love everything that comes with it.
That's true.
Because
to a certain extent,
it's nasty. Football's nasty.
Yeah. It's
a dirty business.
But like, one day I'll tell my story on here.
Yeah.
But one day, but if you know the things that I've actually experienced in my football career, when I was young, like 19 at Crystal Palace, that time, that's when I would say, this industry is just stupid.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to explain it. The industry is silly because it doesn't make sense how one person's opinion and his reference can tell someone that never seen me, doesn't know me, like we spoke about with Reese.
Yeah.
And his opinion is now formed of what that person says.
Literally opinions,
And no other role in like the world, it feels like that happens.
Yeah.
Without seeing me, speaking to me, anything first.
Yeah.
But in football, that's where the nasty side of the business comes.
Yeah. And this is why, again, like when we always say sometimes maybe it's best, some of us didn't have a career or even get into those positions because you couldn't give me that. I'm tearing the place up. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's from training, whether it is like I'll go into training the next day and because I'm not going to be stopped, so I'm kicking everyone. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to force your hand, either throw me out of here or I'm forcing your hand. Something needs to give.
Yeah,
like I always say, something's got to give. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like, again, even how it's happening now to a lot of young players, don't give up. Don't go in the shell. That character you've got, that personality you've got, push it through every day, like regardless. Like even if they say, "Oh, he's like this," go in there at 100% you again tomorrow.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Because you're gonna have these guys who are in control, try to pat you on the head and push you down and say, "Nah, you're not like." Nah, slap their hand off your head. Obviously, this is figure of speech, but just, do you know what I mean? No, move. I'm coming again. Like I'm not having it. Don't accept nothing. I always tell young players, don't accept nothing. All of this, even the way football's played now, Joe, when players don't do skills or skillful players that used to do stuff before they get on the pitch, my manager doesn't want me to do that. What are you talking about?
The game's very systematic. I said it.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? You're here to entertain. You're here to score goals. Flick it. If your game is to flick over someone's head and hit it, do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If your game is to just hit people, don't. It's even down to managers now. They don't really talk. They don't really say much. There's no characters in football no more, I don't feel.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And I just hope the boys, again, come playing and going through, especially this next generation. Imagine if Jude Bellingham listened to one of his coaches. It's probably too good for them to even say anything to him. But imagine if one of them said, the manager doesn't want me to, so I'm just going to chill. Bro, you won't get to where you want to go.
No one ever makes it on being normal.
Yeah, man.
Like the people that people see in the Premier League that do these roles, like they do the Lee Cattermole role. Lee Cattermole wasn't this madman that runs around and smashes people when he was a young player.
Didn't Rory say?
Yes,
he was one of the best players he's played with.
A serious football player. Because they have a role in the Premier League. Because you get to the Premier League and you realize, oh wait, these men are way better than me. Let me do a role that I will be consistent in, and I can stay in the team every week. Yeah. That is why they go and do those things. But these people that make it to that level are some of the best football players. And they didn't make it being ordinary. They do the skills. They've got everything they've got everything. So don't dumb down your game because you see in the Premier League, oh, he's doing that, so I should do that. No, because they didn't make it on that. They made it on them being themselves. And then
know your game, know yourself.
I always say it like to players coming through, or even the younger players that I get the chance to speak to. I'll be like, what got you into the first team? That's why you're there. So keep doing it. Obviously, you have to adapt. That's natural. But do not like.
When the opportunity arises, do what you do.
Do not dissolve your game completely. There's a reason you got chosen to step up. Like it wasn't because you're playing the way you are. Thank you.
Being safe.
Exactly.
No one makes them play sideways and backwards. Man. Because you see a holding mid playing sideways and backwards. You think Rodri just played sideways and backwards to make it? Do you think that? He's playing for Pep and he's got a role to play. He's the best in the world in that position. But if you told him to go and play number 10, I bet he would go. You get what I mean?
Hey, Obi Mikel, prime example. When he's playing Nigeria, he was 10 dog, and he looked like he'd been playing that club level all that time. So
one of the best as well, by the way, in that position. If it wasn't for Rodri that's come in, I think he's got an argument to be one
of the he's up there with Prem DMs for sure.
Like ever, But
Vieira, Roy Keane.
Vic's just a big Obi Mikel fan. That's
who are your top 5 DMs? Prem.
In the Prem.
Bloody hell.
History.
Vic was a DM in his day as well.
Yeah,
To be
Prem
fair, play
history,
everywhere, bro.
'cause so yeah, top 5 DMs in Prem history.
DMs. I think obviously Rodri, see Makelele, Vieira. You said top 5, innit?
Top 5. You to 3 already, you know.
Yeah. So
You're running.
Makelele, Vieira, definitely. Rodri. Putting Roy Keane as a DM or box to box.
You can put him wherever you wanted to put him.
I feel like if you're gonna put Vieira in that, you gotta put
Roy Keane.
because they're basically the same. They were hybrids though. Do you know what I
but
mean,
yeah.
they'd just get up and
So
down.
let's take them out.
I mean, yeah.
You want to keep them in?
Keeping them in.
Because if we're keeping, all right. So if we're keeping them in, what's this?
Makelele.
Rodri,
Vieira, Keane,
Vieira. Ooh.
Keane, and one more.
He's probably taking Keane out now, isn't he?
Yeah, Keane's if
Nah, Keane stays. Keane is
bro.
my guy. Then Mikel drops out. Sorry, man, because Yaya goes in.
Yaya's not a DM.
But he's hybrid, no?
No, Yaya's not a DM.
Not in his
so-
Premier League career.
not
He went DM.
Okay. So we leave
Yaya
Yaya
would have
out.
been
That's fine.
Yaya's
Yeah.
number 1 if he's
Yeah. He's the best centre midfielder to play in the Premier
Yeah,
ever.
KDB. But
It just in terms of span, Yaya had the best peak for me. But
Unbelievable.
ever.
Yaya was fake in that Premier.
yeah.
You know, but
you've never seen a midfielder do that.
Yeah, and he doesn't even get the accolades, but it's a day story for another day. But
What's
yeah,
Essien?
Vieira and
What's
Roy
Essien?
Keane, Essien.
What's Essien class as?
You can't put him as a DM because he played with Mikel.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say. Then obviously the odd games where he would do it when Ballack and Lampard. It's tough stuff.
You haven't said the best one yet.
Go on.
N'Golo Kante.
But
again, hybrid.
he's another one.
That's a DM though.
Nah.
So you see, like Chelsea's system. You see that number 7 shirt. I feel like they should have kept that number 7 shirt for that role. If you remember, Ramirez did basically what Kante did.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have carried that on as Chelsea's identity of what a 7 is for them.
Yeah, I get
And
you.
Kante was this rather than, you know what I mean? You know, like the DM is just like, even obviously when we talk about Vieira, Roy Keane, they were about as well, but again, that's where we expand it. But no, Kante definitely.
Yeah, I guess in the context of it, he will go in it.
Yeah.
But for me, he wasn't out and out DM.
Yeah, no, because I'm just going from his time at Leicester.
But
as well. He's an everything midfielder.
Yeah. But him and Drinkwater
they
would
played
sit
4-4-2.
back.
Yeah.
And then
He just-
even when Chelsea, when they were winning, it was him and Matic in the 3-4.
Yeah.
But obviously, they were just there as the 2. And Matic was the one that was sitting back majority of the time. Kante
Matic
was the
as well,
legs.
by the way. What
Yeah, he
player,
was class at Chelsea
What
as well.
player.
So
Michael Carrick.
Oh,
I'm just throwing some names.
What player?
I don't know where you guys want to go.
Nah, we're not gonna keep going.
We could keep going. You know what I mean?
But
The
that again shows this. I feel like, and I said this to you months ago, the standard of the Premier League better back than it is now.
It is. I think so.
It's just now like players are on the eye naturally fitter, all that jazz. That's what they
Sports
say,
science.
sports science wise now. But I feel like football was better in terms of outright quality
Yeah.
when we were younger.
Even when we start talking about strikers.
We have robots now.
Don't worry, Vic. We're getting you on again. We're getting you on because there's something we were meant to discuss. Now I was like, no, this one it deserves a long conversation. So no,
Cool.
We have one segment we always do on the podcast though. You listen. So, song of the week.
I'll go because I think it's in my head. Mine is "Jump" by Tyler featuring Skilly Bang and Ghana. Yeah, I was playing it when we were going to Ramsgate game.
Yeah.
You can lift
But
your phone.
I was then bringing.
Yeah,
I just thought about it 'cause I was playing it again, like literally a couple days ago. So
I'm going for my phone. Do you know why? Because I don't want to get the name wrong.
go on.
Because I'm a piano song, so I'm going to the phone.
I literally it was out of Jump or a couple piano tunes. Actually.
My song of the week this week is by Dawalinga Mass Music and off the album Dali, and his song is called Iguanana.
I had Mass Music the other week. Didn't I? Yeah, I did.
Mass Music is one of the best in the game right now. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong with Mass Music, man.
Sometimes with the piano pronunciation, you have to double triple check it. So
Yeah. Can I play my one? Because I don't really think it ain't got a title.
right.
Can I play it?
Them
'Cause
man
this one different. I'll break the rules a little bit. And play it. So
Oh, I've seen this.
Asake,
Yeah.
the Fuji thing.
Okay.
But
Vibes,
is this song out yet? Because I saw it on Twitter the other day.
So this is what I'm saying, bro. This is my song of the week. You get me? When I want to listen to this, I just come to this, even though it's just a clip. I'm vibes into this one, you know what I mean? So
man said you've been just vibing to a clip.
Oh, literally, bro. Fuji all the way, man.
That's what it's called for now. Fuji.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, hey Vic, thank you for
pleasure,
joining
it's a
us.
pleasure.
Get me absolute pleasure. We're definitely gonna get you on again. Brilliant football mind, and just obviously I've always been invested in your playing and now coaching journey, but looking forward to the next steps because you've been traveling the globe a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we missed. Did you? I saw you went China.
Yeah.
Vic went China for ball as well. So
My goodness, you want to just tell us a small bit about that?
Yeah, no, China was, I was working with a coach called Darren Bowman. Unbelievable coach. So he coached Foden, Nemecha, Sancho. So learning from him.
Is he back in England now?
He's still
in
Hong Kong at the moment.
Oh, okay,
smart man.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, he's in Hong Kong at the moment. Unbelievable coach, unbelievable man as well. And he's taught me a lot as well, you know, about even just culture and environment of coaching teams and whatnot. So, you know, yeah, that was brilliant. Obviously, we can delve into more, but we'll be here for a long time.
Don't worry, we got part two with you. We got part two with you. You get me? But yeah, like I was saying, obviously, definitely looking forward to what's gonna be next. What other achievements are gonna come along the way as well. Just quick one, Vic recently went to a football blacklist as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
So
it was
literally,
good. It was good to
so
see.
you just getting in those spaces, mate. Don't worry. I think what did I tweet up there? I was like, I don't know if you liked it or something. I remember your brother liked
I think
it.
there's the opportunities.
Yeah. I was like, don't worry, when my boys get these opportunities, they're gonna be showing like the ones that coach, and it just come to you, Ibs. You are the ones that come to mind immediately. Do you know what I mean?
Even Dan Fingers, congratulations!
Oh, yeah.
as well, winning the under 18s.
Yes, Dan Fingers, well done.
Croydon, you know.
AFC Croydon, weren't it,
AFC
yesterday?
Croydon with Benga and a couple of the boys as well, a couple of the coaching teams. You know what I mean? So it's big things happening around. Just boy, the men them can coach,
Bro.
The men them can work, man. The boys are working. The London boys. You know what I mean? Even just England in general. Like the guys, they might not have played, you know, been pros, but the boys are working, man.
Opportunity.
Trust
And the
me.
girls.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean as well. She's just got the director of women's football, I think, is at Croydon as well. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Because I think I was on her page the other day, the irony. She had Dulwich Hamlet.
Yeah, she was the Dulwich Hamlet reserve team's coach.
That's it, yeah.
So, I mean, she's got her fingers in so many pies. She's gonna fly as well. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big up Sean.
Trust. I love it. But yeah, like I said, thank you for joining us on this conversation. You get me, and we're gonna get you again. As Dej, how you get me? So you could do back to back if you want.
Okay.
As Dej likes to say,
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
and actually Jacob likes to say.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you very much. Hey, love and respect to everyone that's been supporting, sharing, commenting. Keep them coming. Fly anything you want us to discuss our way, whether that's in the comments or through to me, Dej, Jacob, or on the TDO page on any of our platforms. So yeah, Joe, I'm signing out.
Jacob signing out.
Vic signing out.
Jeez. Peace.
Thank you for listening.
Cheers.